So I made a list of all of the things that I wouldn't have if I didn't have my mom in my life, and especially not my mom and my dad because they're both amazing, and then together it's like, and the list was way too long. But here are the top 5. Number 5, I wouldn't know how to play guitar. They were the first people that knew that I wanted to play. I was only 7 years old and they made sure that I could get into lessons. The lessons didn't last very long, but then when I became a teenager and I wanted to learn how to play again, they made sure that I was in the right community and around the right people so that I could really grow in that passion. Number 4, my mom and my dad can both cook very well. My favorite dish to make is a peanut butter, it's from scratch, like a peanut butter chocolate cheesecake with Oreo crust. And I wouldn't know how to make that if it weren't for my parents because they actually taught me how to cook when I was in like middle school and high school. Number 3, I wouldn't have had the support for school and like grown-up life stuff. I went through a lot of stuff in middle and high school, especially with health and learning disabilities. And there was a time where I didn't think that I would be able to graduate from middle school or graduate from high school. But my parents were my homeschool parents, and they were able to work with me on my own pace so that I could graduate. Maybe not with the grades like everybody else, but I was able to graduate from high school, take the SAT, and then I was able to go to college and graduate from college. And now they help me with all my life stuff, like taxes and bills and student loans and interior design for my house and all of those amazing things that parents help you do. Number 2, I've always had a support system when it came to my health. Whether it was a cold and my dad would go and get me medicine late at night so that I could hopefully fall asleep even though my nose was so runny, or whether it's something extreme when it comes to my asthma or my Tourette syndrome. My parents have always been my support system anytime anything went wrong. And my mom is actually the one that legitimately diagnosed me with Tourette syndrome. She took the paperwork to my doctor, and my mom is the official person that brought that to the table when it came to my health story. And the number 1 thing that I thought of just with this particular list is that I would not have had the example of a healthy marriage and intentional parenting like my parents set forward for me. I know a lot of other amazing couples and some really other amazing parents, but the example that I had in my home from the moment that I would wake up to the moment that I went to sleep, everything from love and patience and forgiveness and all of those amazing things I learned right at home. And I'm so grateful for that, and I know that without my mom and dad, I wouldn't have had that. It's very possible that you're watching this video and you're thinking, wow, like I had some of those things with my parents, or that's how I want to be for my children. Or you could be watching this and thinking, I wish I had that for my life, or I wish that I knew how to give my children those things a little bit better. I don't know exactly what you're thinking when you're watching this, but all I'm thinking about as I'm saying these things are the children that don't have these things, the children who want to play an instrument, but no one is there in their life long enough to teach them how to play an instrument, or the children that want to see a healthy marriage, or that want to see amazing parents in their life, or that want to just have a dad to go fishing with, or a mom to go shopping with, or a dad to cook with, or a mom to go on a hike with. Like, I think about these kids and it breaks my heart that not all children have this. There's something called foster care. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but foster care is for children whose parents are going through a difficult time. It's a place where children can go temporarily until their parents are able to care for them again. The main goal of foster care is to reunite kids with their parents after the parents have been able to seek counsel and seek help. Well, unfortunately, that does not always happen as quickly as we would like it to. And sometimes those children are never able to go back to their parents. But the goal is not to think about, oh, what's going to happen in 5 years, 10 years. The goal is to think about right here, right now. These kids that are in foster care, whether they're going to be in foster care for another 5 minutes, 5 days, 5 months, or 5 years. These kids right here, right now, need a place to go. They need to stay in a foster home where someone can take care of them and provide for them. Did you guys know that in the United States of America, there are over 400,000 children in the foster care system? That means that over 400,000 kids are going to bed every night not knowing what their tomorrow looks like, not knowing if they're going to see their mom, not knowing if they're going to see their dad, not knowing if they're going to have a mom, not knowing if they're going to have a dad. They go to bed without knowing for sure what their tomorrow looks like. And out of those 400,000 plus kids right here in America, there are over 100,000 kids just in that 400,000. Over 100,000 that are legally free to be adopted. kids that know that they can't go back to their mom, they can't go back to their dad, and they're just hoping that a couple or a single dude or a single woman that's a great grown-up that has food and that pays their light bill and has a lot of love to give is gonna say, I'm gonna take a chance on you, and I'm gonna love you, and I'm gonna be there for you. I'm gonna be your support system. I cannot imagine what it must be like to grow up in a world like that, where you don't know what your tomorrow exactly looks like when it comes to your mom and your dad. And I just want to send out a challenge to anyone who is subscribed to my YouTube channel, who follows me on Facebook, who listens to my music, who watched me in some random movie and they're like, oh, that's where I know that girl from. Whoever you are, I want to challenge you to consider fostering a child, to consider maybe even adopting a child. You might be thinking, oh, no, this is not going to happen for me. Like, I can't do this. This isn't possible. Well, maybe you know someone that could foster a child. Maybe you know someone that can adopt a child. So this is what I ask. I ask two things of you, only two. One, if you are watching this and you're like, I could do this. I could foster a child. I could totally do this. I want to encourage you to look in the description box, find the state that you live in America, and click one of the links that will lead you to an adoption agency that will have a meeting where you can learn more and ask a million questions. The second thing I'm going to ask, if you believe that foster care is just totally not, you're not able to do it, that's totally okay. Not every single person is able to do it. I want to ask you to spend some intentional time thinking of people who may be interested and share that video with them. Because let's just get real. There are so many children in America that need our help, that need our love. There are so many children in Haiti that need our love. There's so many children in Ethiopia, in China, and it's not like we're like, oh, you guys need us because we're so fantastic. It's like, no, we all need to be loved. Like, we all need to share love with each other. And when you bring a child into your home, just like when you become a parent biologically, you are loving on that child, and it is a family effort. It's not just you saying, I'm so wonderful and I'm just helping everybody. It's becoming a family where you all love each other, you encourage each other, you laugh together, you cry together, you might argue together a little bit, but you reconcile together and you build together. You build an amazing family, just a beautiful family on top of the foundation that is love. As a Christian, I believe that God is love, and I believe that God has called us to think of people more than we think of ourselves. So I ask you, will you consider thinking about one of these 400,000 kids that need a home? I live in the state of Georgia, and there are 13,000 children just right here in the state of Georgia. I can't believe that. I don't want to believe it, but it's true. It's a reality. And it's heartbreaking, but at the same time, we can change it. You might not foster a child. Your sister might foster a child, or your neighbor might foster a child. And you could be an amazing on-call babysitter or a backup chef when Tuesday nights just get too tough and they need a spaghetti casserole. It takes a village to raise a child, and communities can build families. And I think that is a beautiful way to think about it. You guys, family doesn't always mean blood. Family means love. And I personally know that I have love in my heart to give. And I'm not old enough to adopt in Georgia yet, 6 months and counting. Actually, 6 months and counting. But I'm not old enough to adopt. So I am asking you to consider it, to consider loving on a child, pouring into the heart of a beautiful child. There are so many kids out there that people think, oh, they're crazy, like, you don't want them, you never know what you're gonna get. That's so true. When you have a child growing in your stomach, you also don't know what you're gonna get. That thing could come out crazy. Ask my mom, I grew in her stomach and I'm crazy. So no, when you bring a child into your home, you don't know what you're gonna get, but you gotta know what you're gonna give. And I know that so many people have so much love to give. So please share this video. I'm begging you to share this video. And the second thing I'm requesting of you is, if you're interested, please visit the description box below, and you will see a list of adoption agencies that have information sessions, and you can just go and learn and be encouraged to join together and just change the world. If you happen to live in the state of Georgia and you're watching this before May 15th, please leave a comment. Leave a comment that says, I live in Georgia and I would like to share something with you directly. Okay, well, I hope you had an amazing weekend and I hope you have a fantastic week. I love you guys so much and I miss you already. Bye.